Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Night of Champions prediction. Let's switch it over here. We got Cody Rhodes, your champion, versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn. I think there's a gamble, I guess, in the eyes of creative, but I can see this scenario where you let Gunther win. The reason I'm going to pick Gunther is because Cody's had it for a long time. He's done a great job with the title. He's elevated the title. But if you could give Cody some time to have a real one-on-one feud, no championship, and he can work with Sami, that also gives Gunther the ability to go work with other people. The problem now is that if you do Cody versus Gunther versus Sami and Cody wins, you can't just take Gunther and say, well, you got to go after the United States Championship now. That doesn't work anymore. You can't send a guy like Gunther down to the mid-card. It doesn't work like that. He retired Goldberg. He retired John Cena, and he retired AJ Styles. I'm picking Gunther because Gunther can be a champion. That's one story. Cody versus Sami, that's another story. If you have Gunther lose, he's just going right back at Cody Rhodes because that's kind of just the kind of character he is. Unless you were to start up some random feud by having Gunther get screwed over or something of the sorts. I'm picking Gunther. I think he can hold the title for a long time. I think he's going to look great with this title. It's going to be cool to see someone chasing after the title instead of Cody like giving out all of these matches. Potentially we see Cody chasing after the belt again, which of course he did a great job as that role. So give me Gunther. Screw it. Jey Uso versus Oba Femi. This is a 50-50. Brock gets involved. Jey wins. Jey goes on to face Cody or Gunther again, and whoa, that's a whole nother thing I didn't even think about. If Gunther wins this, we get to run back Jey versus Gunther potentially, or we could have this cool thing where Jey ends up turning and going up against Roman and potentially winning the title from Roman or something of the sorts like that. You guys are really gonna hate me. I think that there is more benefit in having Jey Uso win. There's so many stories you can play off of with this, and I think it's the best idea. That's no hate against Oba. Nothing wrong with Oba. I just think that Oba needs to go up against Brock. Brock's probably going to get involved. Give me Jey Uso to win this match against Oba Femi. Screw it. Why not? Queen of the Ring Tournament Finals, Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. I think that Io Sky winning would be good because that's a little bit of a rub to Io. Though on the other side of it, why would you have your women's world champion lose to probably her main competitor for the title, and then Io would probably just challenge Liv Morgan again, right? And then if that kind of just feels like a waste. I feel like you would have had the opportunity to take a young talent and let a young talent challenge Io Sky and maybe get the rub and go on to face someone like a Rhea Ripley or a Liv Morgan. At a stage like that, Liv Morgan winning doesn't make a ton of sense unless she becomes a double champion. If she does win this match against Io and she goes on to face Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam and she loses, you just like stabbed the Queen of the Ring in the face. You stabbed it, you lit it on fire, and you ran it over with your Prius. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense why you would have Liv Morgan run the gauntlet just for her to lose again. It just feels like a waste of time. I feel like it would make sense for Io to win. But again, then it's like, okay, I face Liv Morgan because I just beat her. I just beat her in this tournament. I have no clue on earth what they're doing. There's got to be something behind Liv Morgan. Maybe Raquel and Roxanne turn on her. Maybe that's the reason they wanted to set up a big enough stage like a Women's Queen of the Ring final at Night of Champions. They wanted to set up that big of a stage for them to turn on Liv Morgan. Potentially? I don't know how that all works, because then what do you do with Dominic? Does Dominic stay? Does Dominic go make out with Roxanne Perez? I mean, not bad, kid. But I feel like they wouldn't put the world champion in here if they didn't have a reason. I'm going to pick Liv Morgan, and I just want to see where they go with this. Next, we have Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker in the steel cage. What a banger we're in for. You got to have Seth finish his story. it gets to a point where you have to think to yourself, you got to let Seth win. Now, Seth might give Braun Breaker the rub here and give him the win, but you want Seth Rollins to be finished with the Vision. He wants to be past all of this stuff. And if he wins this match, Seth Rollins is no longer stuck in this Vision vortex, and Braun Breaker can go on to new heights. He can maybe go challenge the OTC at some point down the line. Maybe Seth Rollins ends up winning the belt from Roman Reigns and they run it back later at WrestleMania. There's all these different possibilities. He could go back for the IC title. He could, change brands and go after Cody Rhodes or Gunther or Sami Zayn, whoever the hell wins this match. Like, maybe even the US title. He goes after Trick Williams. They have beef. There's a bunch of different outcomes if Braun Breaker loses. And I feel like it's better for him if he loses, so give me Seth Rollins. Tiffany Stratton, your champion, versus Jade Cargill for the Women's United States Championship. This could also be a sneaky banger, you guys. And I think that because you have Jade Cargill building this faction, Tiffany Stratton's had the belt for a decent amount of time. She's had good defenses. She's been a good champion. Do you put it on a heel like Jade Cargill and see what she can do with it? She's got her goons, Beef Abamichin. Does Chelsea Green get involved here? I'm curious if we get this thing where maybe Tiffany Stratton loses and Chelsea tries to help her out, and it doesn't quite go to plan, and Tiffany basically blames it on Chelsea. And then Tiffany turns on Chelsea, turning Tiffany Stratton heel, and Chelsea Green, which she already is a babyface, but a full-blown babyface. And now Chelsea Green gets to ride this high, potentially to SummerSlam to face Tiffany Stratton, and then ride that high to Money in the Bank, where she will inevitably win. I think you let Jade Cargill win here, potentially. Screw it. I'm going to say Jade Cargill. Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. Trick Williams. Tricky 2 times, Mr. Lemon Peppa Steppa is going to retain his title. There's no way Ricky Saints wins. They're obviously just trying to build up the U.S. title scene a little more. I don't see any way Trick loses this. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your Night of Champions predictions. Make sure to like and subscribe, drop a follow, much appreciated. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day.